What up, guys? Today, we are trying out the bolt carbine in the PTS, and the bolt carbine being used by the Vanguard is very interesting. Vanguard with grapple can put itself in positions to get really easy close range damage, and as you can see with the reworked perks on the PTS, the bolt carbine gets a lot of damage. So the thing is, Vanguard's also really good at increasing its damage. Also, another thing that Vanguard is really good at is damage resistance. So it's very interesting. You can kind of play extremely aggressive with Vanguard, especially with Unmatched Zeal, and definitely getting some heals off the majors as well. Tip of the Spear is one of my favorite perks. Pretty much Vanguard is in a really good spot. Yes, Adrenaline Rush, of course. Adrenaline Rush and Unmatched Zeal can keep the Vanguard in the fight. Also, yes, I do have the Inferno Pistol here. The Inferno Pistol just really helps out clear pretty much large waves of gaunts. I really enjoy the Inferno Pistol. And then the bolt carbine's also kind of a close-ranged weapon, so we do have a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to zoanthropes if they, happen to come up. Now, this is Absolute, and Absolute, this operation in Absolute is still pretty tough, even though we don't have the boss fight. But I think it's going to be very interesting to see when, when this operation officially comes out, because seemingly most PC players are going to be really good at getting through the objectives for this operation. It's going to be pretty funny seeing, PC players kind of rush through the operation. Well, you know what? Hopefully a lot of console players watch these videos and kind of get the idea on how to get through the operation. I think it's going to be pretty cool. This is the first operation we actually have like a little bit of a head start with, essentially. But yeah, I'm really excited for that boss fight. It cannot come out soon enough. Now, this situation's a little wild. We do have a Ravener jumping on me. Raveners pretty much haunt me this entire operation, which is rough. But the bolt carbine is still just really, really good at getting some quick DPS in there. Now, I'm getting staggered from a zoanthrope, which is likely the one extremist I really don't want to see. Not to mention, there's also a lot of spore mines. This whole situation is just horrible. Now, with this Ravener, at this point, I'm trying to get it down so I can get some heals off of Unmatched Zeal. Yeah, this entire situation was very, very stressful. Absolute does not play around, especially when it comes to these deserts. Dude, getting in a fight out in the desert with zoanthropes and spore mines, yeah, no, it is a bad situation. So I definitely wanted to make sure I dodged this one. Honestly, I want to do my best to conserve some ammo as well. This does end up being a solo run. But, Unmatched Zeal recently has been buffed, so I am getting a lot of DPS when it comes to taking out extremists. That was a nice parry right there. Dude, honestly, the Lictor almost had me. He jumped directly in my face within like a 1 second timing or something. It was insane. But there I'm trying to get the execution to, yeah, one of the gaunts, I was trying to get an execution there to, help my health a little bit. And then I opt into just destroying the extremists with the melta bomb. I think I was getting pretty impatient with what was going on. Pretty much once I see a spore mine, I pretty much start panicking. I gotta stop doing that. Maybe because that getting myself blown up by that little barrel there was also kind of a bad move. But luckily, I'm playing Vanguard, and if I'm low on health, I can just, take out a whole bunch of majors and get my health back. And honestly, luckily, the Vanguard can use the bolt carbine now, and the bolt carbine is a very good weapon for the Vanguard. Just get some headshots in there, and then you get the execution. Whenever I saw a major, I was actually really excited because I need health. Basically, with the bolt carbine and getting some parries, I should be able to take out a large wave of majors pretty fast. However, I miss a few parries there, and you can kind of see my health start to go down to a dangerous level. And yeah, that was a risky gun strike. Definitely trying to stay a bit careful here. I don't want to get too surrounded by the amount of majors that we're kind of getting surrounded by bone sword majors especially is a very bad idea. You just want to create some space there. Luckily, I was able to pull out the Inferno pistol to put on some burst damage, and as soon as I can land these parries, you can get these staggers, and you are in a pretty good spot to get some health back. That is a large part why running solo with Vanguard is really good. Especially, honestly, Vanguard's just really good in general when it comes to absolute because you can heal yourself. The melta part is really fun. I really enjoy this part of the operation. They just give you like free meltas and you can just drop them in the tunnel. This part is one of the reasons I feel like why running this operation is so enjoyable. And the grapple's also really good. Vanguard is just, in general, Vanguard feels really good. Their prestige perks are really nice. I don't really do too much with focusing on the prestige perks for this build at the moment. It's really just to try out the bolt carbine with the Vanguard. And there be careful, because what happens there is I went to drop the grenade, but I dodged out of the animation, so it basically canceled the grenade drop. But still, it's a melta grenade, so you're in a good spot to just, you know, make a giant impact regardless and take out a large wave of enemies. Make sure you pick up a melta on your way out too in this operation, because they practically just respawn wherever they are, which is really nice. And as you can see with the bolt carbine, you can still get some pretty good headshots when you're medium range. But the close range capabilities of the bolt carbine is just incredible. But I was really having a hard time with Raveners in this operation. For whatever reason, they just spawned consistently throughout this operation. So, well, it's Absolute, to be honest. Absolute can definitely throw some crazy situations your way. But luckily, I'm getting some good parries right here. And then, yeah, just try to get some headshots with the bolt carbine. That Ravener is definitely close to being executed, and that's exactly how I thought this was going to go. But once you see the spore mines, that's when things can just get really, really bad. The spore mine situation against Tyranids, now it's back to, you know, we're out of the spore mine apocalypse, essentially. Now we won't see too many spore mines spawn for too long, but spore mines are still kind of a pain to deal with. Luckily, you do get iframes with the grapple, which is interesting. That Ravener jump, I have no idea how I missed that. And then even press C there, but it didn't register for whatever reason. Whatever, regardless, skill issue. Definitely got taken out by the Ravener. But luckily, we were in a secluded area here. I'm still very annoyed that I got grabbed by the Ravener there, because I genuinely think I should have been ready for that. I think that it basically jumped from where I was basically too focused on taking out gaunts, and it like jumped from the side and took me out. It was fast. But it doesn't matter. We were able to take out the Ravener. I'm still playing Vanguard anyway, so luckily I can just heal myself regardless. But what's not lucky is getting spammed at with spore mines in this situation, which is kind of crazy. I saw them coming from two different ways, and yeah, I definitely tried to just roll out of this. But look at that, dude. This entire room can go really poorly once spore mines start funneling in, because they can funnel in from different directions and surround you very quickly, which I think is kind of the important part about having a sustainability option for your class, and why Vanguard is regarded to be so strong. Like, I genuinely think if Vanguard had like weapons that weren't that good but still had the healing options, Vanguard would still be a desirable class to play. But luckily Vanguard does have good weapons. But yeah, zoanthropes are definitely a rough situation when it comes to the bolt carbine. And then we do have a biobore here. which is also kind of dangerous. I have to do my best to stay alive in this situation. The grapple against the Biobor is pretty good, but unfortunately I do have to use a stim. I am getting absolutely surrounded. There's a lot of stuns happening, so I'm definitely worried about that. Getting the gun strike was nice. And luckily, I was able to get out of that situation before it got too bad. I am getting absolutely bombarded by spore mines and raveners. Absolute. This operation in Absolute is definitely going to be a bit difficult, you know, when it hits the vanilla game. I'm really excited for this patch. I can't wait to see what the boss is going to throw at us. But still, it is kind of good that we're getting a lot of practice on the operation now. That melta was really good. I'm so happy you can grapple into zoanthropes now. But yeah, there's the Biovore, and at that point he was running away, so I figured, hey, let's just move on. But the funniest thing happens is when I'm all the way over here. This is actually a fair bit to travel. The Biovore decides to just jump into this room with us. And luckily you can see the damage capabilities of the bolt carbine, along with the fact that I do have a tactical and a sniper. We were able to take out that Biovore pretty quickly, which is nice. And I gotta say, trying out the bolt carbine on the Vanguard felt really good. This is one of the, you know, basically one of the weapons that were given to a new class. That I felt like was perfect for the class. You know what I mean? Like, the bolt carbine, to be honest, should be on more classes. It would be kind of interesting to see it on, like, the assault class or something, but I understand why they're not giving any primaries to the assault. It's fine. It's fine. We have the bolt carbine on the Vanguard. Everything's okay. This weapon's an absolute beast. Going through Absolute wasn't too troubling with the Vanguard. Luckily, I do have healing, so it's very, very good.